Hello mathematical literacy learners, welcome to question 3 of KZN. Let's get started. The economically active population of South Africa is shown in table 1 below for the third quarter of 2021. Black African thousands, both genders, so both female and male. Black African thousands, 10,698. Those that are professional, 473,000. Have you seen that part there? That says 1,000, right? So this one is 473,000. Now let's just start there, because it might happen that you might say it's 10,698 and leave it like that and then not know. So let's do that first. I'm just going to do an example on that first. I'm going to take the 10,698,000 and show you. So that's 10,698,000. You see that? There. Like how some people say 1.2, which is 1,200, right? Which is 1.2 thousand. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say this is actually 10,698 times 1,000. I've times it by this number that's written here. So if it had said million, I would have said times 1 million. If you had said 100, I would have said times 100. See? So now let's find out what is this one here, since that one is relevant to us. So I'd say 10,698 times 1,000, and that is 10698,000. So that is 10,698,000. You see how that's different now? Same number, and it's actually 10,698,000. Where did I get the thousand? It was written there at the top, which is why it's important to study your information, right? Okay, so let's go to the questions. Determine the total number of people actively employed in South Africa. All right, so this here is the total. You see that instead of writing the totals down here, they wrote them at the top there. So these are all the totals of the ones that are Black African, Colored African, Indian African, White African, and then there's the total right there. So this is actually the whole total, but then this is not the actual number because this is 14,281,000. Right? So let's sort that out. $14,281 times 1,000. Right, so we're going to go to the next question, which says determine the median for the Black African population. So we're going to look for the median here. Here's what I'm going to show you. You see, this is the total here, and the formula of the median, you shouldn't include that. That's just the total of the data, right? So make sure that when you take your numbers for median, this is it, and you don't include the total, because the total just added them all up. It's not part of the actual list of the data. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to arrange them first in ascending order. That is the rule of the median. First, arrange your data in ascending order. If you arrange them in descending order, it will give you the median. But once you come to quartiles, you won't be able to sort that out. So let's start with the smallest number, which here is 41. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these two are part of the median is between these two here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 791 plus 919 divided by 2. So this question says, which measure of central tendency is better representation of the data, mean or median? Now, always when I look at the mean, I know the mean is very much affected by the mean outlier. So always, if I look for my data and I see that there's a mean, I already know If I look at my data and know that there's an outlier, then I already know. An outlier is a number that sits way away from the rest, so below or high above. So for example, this data here, 41, which I noted as the smallest data, is actually way below everybody else, right? And if you look at 3037 there, you see that it's way above everybody else. So we have actually outliers here, and it won't be best to use the mean. As you can see, we have very different mean averages, because this one which we use the mean is 1 million and this one is 855,000. Okay, the range of totally active population is: determine A, the lowest number of skilled agricultural workers. They say the range here, which is the totals, is, they've given us there, and then they say determine A, which is the lowest number. Okay, first of all, the problem here, we have a problem. This is given in full numbers, this is not given in full numbers. We can either change all of these, or we can just change this one to how these ones are written. Since these have 1,000 there, and we would need to multiply 1,000, I'm going to just divide this by 1,000 so that it becomes like all of these numbers. So the range here, we have a range which is equal to 3471000, and so I'm going to divide that by 1,000 so that it becomes like the other numbers. And so now it's 3471000, like all the other numbers, right? Now to find A, I'm going to use the range, right, for here. This is where that is what they're talking about, right? So they say A is the lowest number. That's fine. I'm going to use the range because I have it. And so I'm going to say range is equal to highest data minus lowest data, right? And then here I'm going to say the range is given as 3471000. We do have the highest data, so we're going to find the highest data here, and that is 2,149. If I'm not, that's 3,534. That's the one. 3,534 is the highest data here, and then A will be the lowest data. That means minus A, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take since A here is sitting with this number, I'm going to take this number to the other side. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say 3471 minus 3534 is equal to minus A. This is 3471 minus 3534. Then I get minus 63, which is equal to minus A. Now I know A is not negative there. Those numbers are not negative. So I'm just going to divide by minus 1, and then A is equal to 63, right?